Here we have a Pioneer SPH-EVO950DABs. So let me show you the actual stereo. So that's the stereo there. And as you can see, it's a 9-inch floating head unit. It's quite a sleek looking stereo, to be honest with you, and it is quite flush against the dash. Some of them stick out quite a bit, but this one's actually quite flush, especially the Pioneer predecessors. It did used to stick out quite a lot, and I weren't too keen on their floating head units, but this is actually quite a nice one. And also with this, you can tilt it. So if you have a look, and it tilts quite far. So for a transporter, it's ideal because the dash sits in a real funny angle. So let's power it up. So it's all booting up now, and it's not that slow. It boots up quite reasonably fast.
Please have a safe drive today.
And this stereo has a new platform. It's not your typical Pioneer platform that you normally see. They developed it slightly differently. So you have these widgets, I think they call them. So you could actually have different things on there, and you could do this yourself. So you could change whatever you want it to be. So the features on this stereo are standard. It has normal terrestrial radio. It has DAB radio. Also has Bluetooth hands-free calling, Bluetooth audio if you want to do that. But the most important part of it is the wireless Apple Carplay and wireless Android Auto. So basically with Apple Carplay or Android Auto, it's completely wireless. You don't have to plug in to USB to actually connect up to it. It does have its own USB as well. So if you did want to plug into it, you could do it that way. And it'll also charge your phone if you do plug the USB into it. So let me pair my phone up to it, just show you how straightforward that is. And we just basically follow the instructions, giving it the permissions that's required. Basically, I'm just allowing it to connect to the phone and have the CarPlay. So now, as you can see, you've got CarPlay. And it's all wireless, so yeah, all the apps that's licensed for it is available. You can just flick between all of that. So if you put on Waze, you could go full mapping Waze if you want to, Spotify, phone book, and you can split the screen again, so you could have your Waze map in there and then music. Whatever it might be, if you've got something else. In my case, it's Spotify. And then from there, you could basically obviously come back out of it again, go back to the Pioneer unit, and the difference is that you get this bit, which is the Apple CarPlay, and that becomes a widget on its own, even though you come out of CarPlay itself. So it's quite a nice little feature, that is. And with this, if you want to flick between DAB, all you do is just go into DAB, seek like normal radio. If you want to particularly save that, all you have to do is push and hold it, and that will save it on that channel. Do that, it actually shows you the name of the channels rather than just the numbers. And if you go to normal radio, you just have that, and also if you're actually on radio and you flick between something else, if you do that, then that comes out nice and big. You can power it down, source off, or go back into Apple CarPlay, or whatever you want to do. So navigating around it, it's actually really simple, so easy to use. So if you're going to flick between one thing to another thing, very easy. You don't have to go into any stupid little menu systems that doesn't make sense half the time. So it's nice and easy. And obviously with this installation, the steering wheel controls work. So and that would work with most vehicles, but you just need the appropriate adapters for that to happen. But the stereo's got all the capability for it. Also, it comes with 2 versions with the stereo, so it's not just a one version. You've got the normal version, and then you've got the camper version. The camper version basically allows you to have a large vehicle or motorhome, and with the sat nav, with the navigation side of it, which you utilise your phone for the sat nav, you could specify the size of your vehicle. So then it won't allow you to go down, stupid little narrow roads that you're going to struggle driving through, bridges and stuff like that. So you do have the camper version. So if you have got a motorhome or a large vehicle, and that is an issue regarding where you're going to go, and you want the sat nav to actually be able to dedicate you reasonable routes, then I'll suggest that you get the camper version of it. If you've got a smaller vehicle, then that's not necessary, and because there is a price point between the two, the camper version is more expensive. So if you've got a small vehicle and you go for the camper version, you're just paying extra for the stereo. That's unnecessary. So you've got the 2 versions, look exactly the same, work exactly the same, but obviously one that you can specify the size of your vehicle, which is really nice. You don't really have that option with a lot of the stereos. You have to buy like a dedicated version, and that's it, and that's the one and only version that does it. But with this, like I said, if you wanted a stereo, you don't have to go for the camper version, and it just brings the price down a little bit. So there you have it. That is the Pioneer SPH-EVO950 DABs.